I'm Katelynn Ethier. I am the current board president for the Children's Museum Board of Directors. The Children's Museum is a magical place, and I say that and it's a little bit silly, but the Children's Museum is pretty silly. It's this opportunity and place for children to come, and they're not a student, they're not an athlete, they're maybe a brother or sister if they're siblings with them, but they're mostly just a kid. They get to come and pretend that they're a meteorologist for Spectrum, or that they're saving a house that's on fire through the Saratoga Fire Department, and they get to have the imagination and space to create and play. And I think right now, that's what children need. Space to play, be silly, be funny, and just enjoy the magic of the Children's Museum. So I found the Children's Museum of Saratoga when I was about 8 years old, and my mom let me have my 8th birthday here. We were at the Caroline Street location still, and me and about 20 of my friends and my little brother and my whole family got to come and enjoy and play. It's one of my favorite memories. There's actually a photo of my little brother Thomas and I in the fire truck at the Caroline Street location with our fire hats on, and you can just see two kids having fun. And it's one of my favorite memories still to this day, and it's one of the best parts about being a kid that grew up in Saratoga. So I wanted to join a board of directors of some sort when I was just getting started in my career in nonprofit management. I, in my day job, also am an executive director for a nonprofit, and I really understand the importance of volunteerism and board service. When I started to look around at some of the organizations in Saratoga, the Children's Museum came to mind and popped up in a Google search, and immediately I was brought back to that experience on my 8th birthday. I am one of the younger board members currently, and as the sitting board president, it really is just a full circle opportunity where going from someone who used the services to being on the board and in the executive committee, it's empowering and encouraging to be able to be a part of the change and the future for the next iteration of the Children's Museum. One of the highest priorities for the board of directors and the staff at the Children's Museum is that every child in Saratoga County and the counties that surround us have access, whether that's through our programming reaching out to rural or schools that are not located in close proximity to ensure that the children who aren't accessible because of distance still have the opportunity to experience the Children's Museum is one of the things that I'm most proud of from our strategic plan. Additionally, in 2023, we expanded our financial accessibility to include an open arms membership. This ensures that someone who wishes to be a member and use the museum on a regular basis but has financial hardships can come and complete the appropriate paperwork, and then they have their own membership card, and they never have to justify why or where that card came from. They're just a member, and they are like every other child and family that gets to come in and play and experience the Children's Museum. So I think that the first year, July 2022 to July 2023, is going to be a hard one to beat. It was such a wonderful banner year in the new Lincoln Bass locations, but I'm really excited for what's to come. We are expanding our offerings to include outdoor programming in our courtyard and areas to play outside. We also are continuing our efforts to expand our outreach programming to reach schools that we may not be in currently, or ensuring that we're visiting the schools we already are in more regularly so that all children can understand what it means to be a part of the Children's Museum. One of my most favorite memories from the Children's Museum is the first Big Truck Day that I was a part of. We were at a location in Saratoga. We had no idea what to expect. It was the summer of 2020, and we just weren't sure what our numbers would look like. The weather was going to be a hot 100 degrees. We filled the parking lot, and it felt like the car line for people to get in and enjoy the opportunity to play with big trucks was endless. I was overwhelmed. I was so hot. I was running water that I thought was ice cold, and by the time I got it to our volunteers was maybe lukewarm. And all of that contributes to the magic that the Children's Museum is able to do inside the walls here, but also the fun and silliness that we can bring to a random parking lot when we park some big trucks there. The Children's Museum is a nonprofit organization in Saratoga Springs. We are currently housed in the Lincoln Baths as a part of the Saratoga Spa State Park. The Children's Museum depends and runs on the essential funding that we receive from our incredibly generous community partners, individual donors, corporate sponsors, our private grant funders, from the state funding that we received to provide programming to students through school and through different summer educational programs. And we would not be the organization that we are today and growing towards who we hope to be tomorrow without the incredible hands of the community holding us up. We are so thankful to our community partners and to everyone who has been a part of this amazing transition, and we invite you to join us as we continue to take our step into the next chapter of the Children's Museum.